Alright, network security was our first day. We reviewed some items, went over some class things. The first thing then we got to visiting about was this whole idea of having an asset, you know, the data, a threat agent, and vulnerabilities. How vulnerable are you to a threat or a threat agent doing something to the data, which then develops our risk, how much risk we want to take. Do we mitigate it? Do we accept it? Or do we transfer the responsibility? Then we visited about a wide range of things, some critical things in terms of security. So we talked about these three major issues. The first one, security principles. I've talked a lot about this in the past. Confidentiality of sensitive data. Assurance of reliability and integrity of data. That would be of all data, not just sensitive data. We should always be concerned about the integrity and the reliability. And then making the data available to the correct people. So we have a security principles, and then from there we have what states the data is in. Is it at rest, stored somewhere? Is it in motion? Is it during transmission? Is it being transmitted from one location to another? Or is it currently being processed? Okay? Then the third major part of that then falls into security measures. An organizational policy. What kind of standards are we going to follow? What kind of procedures to put that policy in place or ensure the policy is in place? And then what guidelines we also are going to follow. Now, guidelines are similar to policy but don't have the direct repercussions. And so we talked quite a bit about policy and the whole idea of people making this happen. So within an organization, you have to do organizational risk management, the risks, vulnerabilities, and the threats, and look at what kind of countermeasures you can use. You got to analyze the risk, and from that then you can develop these type of things. You really can't develop a policy until you understand the risk. We finished up starting to talk a little bit about network attacks, the stages. We talked from recon to, you know, intruding into a network, or you know, doing scans, or actually accessing items in the network. Penetration is a good word used for that. And we talked about the whole idea of signatures and how we manage signatures when we recognize things that have gone wrong or are going wrong, and so forth, and we discussed that. They started some lab work, used some tablets to monitor their lab work through PDFs, and we will finish up chapter 1 on Thursday. We'll take the pre-test at the beginning of the class, finish up any items in the chapter, and the final test for chapter 1 will be taken after class, somewhere prior to class next Tuesday. So they'll have the weekend to do that. And that's it.